Hey guys! Today I talk about the experiences I had with video games throughout my life. I actually made a video just like this back in June 2019, and it was called My History with Video Games, and this video is a redo of that. I just don't think my execution on that video was very good. I feel like I said more than I really needed to, and I just felt like I was dragging on the video. So I make this video and it won't be nearly as long. I will keep things as simple as I can. I will mention each system I owned and each franchise I played. I will talk about the first game of each franchise that I played. I will also get into some fond memories I had with some games as well. So without further ado, let's get into the meat of the video. So I first got into video games through sibling influence when I was maybe 4 or 5. The first video games I played were computer games. I mostly played edutainment point-and-click games which are typically pretty basic. The first real video game I played was the 1997 Frogger PC game. I became interested in it when I saw my oldest sister playing it, and eventually I did get into playing it, and it's a game I'm very fond of and I loved it, and I still love it to this day. While it is a hard game, it's also really fun. My oldest sister also got me interested in a game called Bugdum while at my grandma's apartment. It would end up taking me 5 years to beat that game. I just got stuck on level 4 for the longest time. Around the same time I got into PC games, I became interested in the Game Boy Color when I would see my brother playing it. My brother had Pokemon Blue and Yellow, and I even got to try one of those games myself, and I really enjoyed it. However, I didn't fully commit to playing it from start to finish until I was 9 years old when I started bringing my brother's Game Boy Color to summer camp. In that same summer I would end up playing Pokemon Silver, which actually belonged to one of my sisters. She didn't find out right away though. When she did, she didn't really care, if I remember correctly, but man, I loved Pokemon Silver. Gen 2 of Pokemon is my all-time favorite. This next experience happened at summer camp, and I think this was still the same summer. So this one boy was playing Donkey Kong Land 2, and he let me try a level, and I really enjoyed what I had played. So 1 year or so later, I ended up getting the game for myself, and since that day, I have been a Donkey Kong fan. I enjoyed the game so much, but I didn't beat it until 2 years later, all because I didn't know how to get past web woods. I just didn't know that Squitter could make web platforms, and I didn't have the instruction booklet. I got the game used and out of the box. Donkey Kong Land 2 is my favorite of the Donkey Kong Land games, and I just love the Donkey Kong series overall. It's lots of fun. My first Wario game was also for the Game Boy. It was Wario Land, Super Mario Land 3, and I loved it. I had lots of fun playing it, and I just love Wario games. I just wish there were more of them. So that is every franchise I got into on the Game Boy and Game Boy Color. My next system would end up being the Game Boy Advance. The first game I played on it was Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire. I would later get Pokemon Emerald for Christmas in 2005, and I will never forget the time I attempted to complete the Pokédex. I came so close, I just had trouble evolving Feebas. But on to other franchises I got into on the Game Boy Advance. So for my 11th birthday I would end up getting Super Mario Advance 4. And eventually I did get the rest of the Mario Advance games, mostly Advance 1 and 2. I actually rented Advance 3, and I didn't own it till years later. My first Kirby game was Nightmare in Dreamland, which is a remake of Kirby's Adventure, but I didn't play much Kirby until 2008 when I got Kirby Squeak Squad, and since then I would play a Kirby game here and there, and just about any new main series Kirby game that would come out. I love the Kirby series. My favorite game would be Superstar Ultra for the DS. I got my first Sonic game in 2006, which would have been Sonic Advance 3. It's not the best Sonic game I played, but it was my first, and it's certainly not the worst of all. I do love the series even if some games just aren't as good as they could be. I always appreciate Sonic games for what they do right. In 2008, I became a fan of Mega Man from watching Mega Man Let's Plays as well as playing the games on emulator. The first Mega Man game I owned would be Mega Man 03. And I would consider it to be the best of the Mega Man Zero games, as it didn't put you through the hassle of leveling up weapons, and it had the best handle on the Cyber Elf system in my opinion. So overall Mega Man is my all-time favorite video game franchise. In 2008 I would also get into Castlevania, and my first game I played was Circle of the Moon for the Game Boy Advance. I did enjoy it, but not as much as I enjoyed Aria of Sorrow, which is my all-time favorite Castlevania game. The next system I would own after the Game Boy Advance would be the Nintendo DS, which I got for Christmas in 2006. So none of the games I got for this system were of any franchises I didn't play. My first game on the system I got was New Super Mario Bros. At the time I felt that the graphics were impressive, but now they just don't compare to later systems. Overall I enjoyed the Nintendo DS. It was a pretty good handheld with fun games. The next system I got was the Nintendo Wii. I got it from one of my aunts. It was initially for my brother to play Wii Sports on it, but that didn't last, and it eventually turned into my system. My first Wii game would end up being Super Paper Mario. It's definitely a game I enjoyed. I think it has a lot of charm to it. I eventually found out that I could play GameCube games on the Wii, and so then I got Sonic Gems Collection, and I was most excited to finally play Sonic CD. The Wii also had a shop where you could get games for older consoles like Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64, and so on. My first Wii shop purchase was Donkey Kong Country 3, and I could go on and on talking about the Wii shop, but I think I will save that for another video. So since the Wii, I have owned every new Nintendo console from Nintendo 3DS, Wii U and Switch. My first 3DS game was Super Mario 3D Land, my first Wii U game was New Super Mario Bros. U, and my first Switch game was Super Mario Odyssey. Now I will mention some last franchises that I got into. So in 2009 I became a fan of Bomberman, and in 2014 I decided to get into the Zelda series. I was not into it before because I felt overwhelmed by the puzzle aspect of it, but I eventually got over that. My first Zelda game was Link to the Past. And that's all I have to say in this video. It was definitely a big topic. I didn't talk about every single game, but I can always do a part 2 for this video. In the future, I would gladly do that. So I hope you enjoyed this video and thanks for watching.